Bruce, you must have something really good too.
Of course I do. It's Bruce Danielson, and I guess I'm here to entertain you too.
Good evening and welcome to Carnegie Town Hall. I call this meeting of the Sioux Falls Planning Commission to order. I would like to emphasize a couple of items tonight. Out of courtesy for everyone, please silence all electronic devices at this time. We look forward to hearing your testimony tonight and appreciate you joining us. In an effort to have sufficient time to hear from audience members, we ask that when you come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Also, please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less to allow everyone here tonight with the opportunity to speak. At this time, we'll consider the consent agenda, but before we do, we've got a few commissioners that have conflicts of interest with a few of the items. At this time, please state your conflict of interest and recuse yourself.
Mr. Chair, recusing myself on item 2I.
Thank you, Commissioner Paulson.
Mr. Chair, recuse myself on 2F and 2H.
Thank you, and I also have a conflict of interest tonight on consent agenda items, so I will be passing the gavel over to Commissioner Lukey for the consent agenda. Commissioner Lukey?
Denise, can you please read the consent agenda?
Yes. Item 1A is the Planning Commission briefing of Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. Item 1B is Planning Commission meeting of Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. These are approval of the minutes. Item 2A, petition rezone 0144122021, rezoning from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the O Office District located at 6509 South Cliff Avenue. Item 2B, petition rezone 0145412021, rezoning from the C3 Commercial Community District to the C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar District located at 4501 East 57th Street. Item 2C, petition rezone 0145662021, rezoning from the C4 Commercial Regional District to the I1 Light Industrial and I2 Heavy Industrial Districts located at 4100 West 60th Street North. Item 2D, rezone 0145732021, rezoning from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District, located north of East Arrowhead Parkway and east of North Veterans Parkway. Item 2E, petition rezone 014576-2021, rezoning from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District, located at 735 South Glendale Avenue. Item 2F, petition rezone 014587-2021, rezoning from the C2 Neighborhood Commercial District to the LW Live Work District, located at the southeast corner of South Tallgrass Avenue and West 69th Street. Item 2G, petition rezone 014598-2021, rezoning from the RD2 Townhome Residential Suburban District to the RA2 Apartment Residential Moderate Density District, located at the northwest corner of East 61st Street and South Sycamore Avenue. Item 2H, petition conditional use 014567-2021, conditional use permit to increase billboard size above 288 square feet to a maximum of 672 square feet located at 1101 South Lyons Avenue. Item 2I, petition alternate site plan 013939-2021, alternative site plan to allow a parking reduction for a medical clinic located at 5900 East 26th Street. Item 2J, petition subdivision plan 014565-2021, preliminary subdivision plan for preliminary subdivision plans for the proposed Griffith Park Commercial Industrial Park at the intersection of North Career Avenue and West 60th Street North, located at 4100 West 60th Street North. Item 3, consent agenda approval.
Thanks, Denise. Staff or anyone from the audience, any of those items that were just read, if you'd like those pulled off the consent agenda, now is the time to speak. No. Okay, it looks like no one wants anything pulled. Look for commission action.
Mr. Chair, make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Consent agenda pass. We'll wait for the commissioners to get back in here. Pass this back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lukey. The items on consent have been approved. If you were here for any of those items tonight, you are free to leave at this time, and thank you for coming. Now we'll move on to the regular agenda. If I could get a motion to approve of the regular agenda, that'd be great.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on that, Commissioners? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. That has passed. Denise, could you please read the first item on the regular agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Item 5A, petition conditional use 014556-2021, conditional use permit for an on-sale alcoholic beverage establishment within 500 feet of a sensitive use located at 523 West 10th Street.
Good evening, Planning Commission. Adam Roach with Planning and Development Services. The applicant wishes to withdraw his application for this conditional use permit.
Thank you, Adam. Commissioners, any questions for Adam? None at this time. Thank you. Is the applicant here by chance? I would imagine not. I don't see them here. At this time, we'll open the floor to public input on this item since it was a noticed item. Is anybody here from the public that would like to speak on this item tonight? Seeing none, we'll close the floor to public input, and I'll look for commissioner action.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw item 5A.
Second.
A motion and a second for withdrawal of this item. Commissioners, any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor of the withdrawal, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. That item has been withdrawn. Denise, please read the next item.
Mr. Chair, I got to recuse myself from this.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner Isis.
Item 5B, petition alternative site plan 014570-2021, alternative site plan for alternative buffer yard located at 113 North St. Paul Avenue.
Evening, Commission. Cole Hansen, Planning and Development Services. So this alternative site plan is simply to provide regional stormwater retention in the site without compromising a buffer yard to the residential housing nearby. They are required a level C buffer yard in this area, which requires 40 units of landscaping for every 100 linear feet. This will be required on both East 8th Street and North St. Paul Avenue. On both locations, they provide, so on North St. Paul, they're required to have 148 units, and they're providing 235. On East 8th, they're required to have 137, and they're providing 209. As for buffer yard requirements, they're required 10 feet of buffer yard. From North St. Paul, they're requiring around 60 feet, and from East 8th Street, they've provided 62. So this meets the intent of the level C buffer yard, while still allowing for the regional stormwater retention in the area. If the application is denied here, the applicant would need to construct either a 6-foot high screen fence or a 4-foot berm, both of which could impede drainage in this area. So as such, staff has recommended approval of this application.
Thank you, Cole. Commissioners, any questions on this item? Seeing none, is the applicant here tonight? Yeah, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and tell us about the project.
Stacy McMahon at 421 North Phillips Avenue. The project is the Children's Inn facility. It's a domestic violence shelter. It has a residential component, an intake component. It does face onto 2 residential streets with the buffer yard. The desire is to maintain a nice aesthetic on those 2 sides of the street without putting in a wood fence. That's one of the items. So they're planning a picket fence, and the landscaping will provide the screening necessary for the headlamps in the parking lot to the neighboring houses and whatever's happening in the parking lot. So that's the main idea behind it.
Very good. Thank you, Stacy. Commissioners, any questions for Stacy on this item?
Stacy, I'm just curious, there's some trees that are already there. Will those remain, or will those have to be torn down?
In the beginning, we were hoping that they would be able to stay there. What has happened in the plans is that we're seeing, because of the stormwater retention, which is also one of the rules, that we have to keep the same amount of water, the same flow rate, anyway, not saying it very well. And that takes up quite a bit of area in those 2 buffer yards. And so there is 1 tree that's being retained. However, I'm fighting the good fight to see if we can
Keep the other ones?
keep other trees. Right. So we haven't quite worked that out yet. We're hopeful that will happen.
Very good. Thank you, Stacy. Commissioners, any further questions?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Stacy, just wanted to make sure, I know in one other area of town, we have had some problems with parking. Do you think going to have enough parking spots for all the employees and visitors to be off the street?
Yeah. The parking studies have been done. This meets zoning, and I believe it exceeds it by somewhat. And the opinion is that there should be no problem with parking.
Okay. Thank you.
Very good. Commissioners, any further questions? None at this time. Thank you, Stacy. Anybody from the audience here to speak on this item tonight? Any public input on this item? Seeing none, I'll close the floor to public input, and I'll look for commissioner action.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Commissioners, any further discussion on this item tonight?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I really appreciate everything they did with this plan. A lot of landscaping going into it, getting a lot of the cars off the streets. I know in a lot of other areas of town, we have some other zonings like this. We've had some problems with parking on the streets. So I do appreciate working with the city on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lukey. Commissioners, any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll take a vote on this item. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. That item has passed. Next, we'll move on to public input on non-agenda items. So we will open the floor to general public input. Is anybody here from the public that would like to speak tonight? Seeing none, we'll close the floor to public input. Commissioners, is there any new business tonight? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion is second. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. We are adjourned.